either dark screen or light screen. Still lying. Not in Hennepin County. This is me, GappaMagix. About to go outside and start sanding. That's to all the haters, flicking them off. Got my sandpaper here, all different grits. And I'm gonna just sand away and see how far I get. I may paint today, but definitely gonna sand it down to level. Level with the door. How the door is supposed to look, or as close as I can get it to factory specs. So here I go. Go outside here. I'm gonna film my GMC Jimmy. Right there, it's all set up. But before I do that, before I start, I'm gonna film the fact that I'm outside this house. Not in Hennepin County. Not in Ramsey County either. Or any type of county that isn't Brown County. Like the color. Like the color brown. New Ulm, Minnesota. And here we are. Try to line this up here. Alright, here we are. Started with the coarsest. You don't want to sand too much, you start rubbing off the paint more than you need. And as you see, I over layered the Bondo, meaning I put it on thick. It's better that way you don't got to do it again. You only do it once. And if you don't have a dryer machine like they do at a professional shop, yet it takes a lot of time for it to dry properly. You need to make sure it's dry as if it's clay. Probably should have put a piece of tape right there too, but this part right here is the opening in the window where the window goes up and down. That's why I taped that off. And right here the door, obviously. Best to work smarter, not harder. Okay, that's now the sandpaper is red. That means it's time for the next one. Now, believe it or not, it's to that point almost already. That's how good that first bit of sandpaper was. It was layered on almost a quarter inch thicker than it should be too. Now, let's take a look here. I'll show it to you. You can see it's almost nil with the paint. Now I have to go find the fine sandpaper. That's gonna take a second because I was looking for it. I couldn't find it at first. So now I'm gonna pause it for a second. Okay, I found it. It was inside the tack cloth. Got a little bit of tack cloth here that I don't need to open up a fresh one. It's still inside there. Some people, they waste the whole tack cloth on a tiny little spot like mine. The whole package. Not that it's expensive or nothing, but it is wasting. Alright, now for a little bit I'm going to focus on the spot where I didn't really do no work, but there's Bondo on it, so I need to get that off of there. of that. I'm gonna do that off camera. Don't know how much time I have to film. Believe it or not, I don't want to really touch it again. I was running my finger around it. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than it was. And definitely better, almost back to factory specs. See, obviously I wouldn't paint it how it looks right now. I'm gonna remove everything and then retape it, possibly sand it again just slightly. Right here is a high spot right here, very slight high spot. Get a look. That crust part, that's the part of the tape is right here. Okay, we're looking at this part right here. See, I have to take off the tape or gently sand right here somehow. So I'm gonna try to do that off camera again. Okay, believe it or not, it made it look a little better. I took it with a small little stick I found on the ground, and I stuck it, like put the sandpaper around it and kind of got up in there kinda. Believe it or not, that it's literally almost perfectly fine. There's a small high spot right here, but I'd rather be slightly high spot than dented. You can barely tell there's a high spot there. So it's a success right now. Now I'm gonna go in and put the phone on charge, and I'm gonna clean all this up, take off the tape, and get this all nice and ready to paint, and then retape it. I'm gonna pause it now. Okay, I cleaned it up rather better. Still need to get small, like, pin or something to pick away all that. That's what I'm gonna go and try to search for now. Or maybe a nail. Yeah, maybe I'll use one of those nails that some piece of shit put a bunch of nails under this fucking spot where this thing parks during the daylight. I still think it's this piece of shit that lives in that house. 25 nails. I even ran them over without knowing they were there. Got lucky they didn't puncture the tire. Found you! Alright, it gets in there though. There's a little crevice. So just kind of pick at it. Oh yeah, it's working too. Ha! Thanks for the nails, piece of shit. You didn't know you were actually doing me a solid when you were trying to puncture these tires. It was during the daylight too. They were not there when I left. When I got back, there was a bunch of nails there. At that time, I picked up 19. I found 6 more later on. Whether you believe me or not, I could give a fuck less. I'm telling you the truth. No reason to make up a story like that. In fact, no reason to make up anything I ever say. This isn't a cry for help. This isn't a please, whatever. I'm owed money. Whatever you see me doing is me proving that they're basically making something out of nothing. All this stuff is minimal cost and, well, not minimal effort, but minimal cost. See right here, all this part right here was all dented down. Now, believe it or not, that's a coat of putty right here. Right here's the metal about ends right here. It couldn't get pulled up any higher. So I did almost perfect job at that, believe it or not. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's a 9 for sure. And at the end of the day, that's a fact. You can't deny me that. No. So anyway, now I'm gonna clean it up again. I'm gonna pause it again. Pause it one more time. Believe it or not, it's not perfect, but it is 9 out of 10. I swear on my soul on it. Someone that has been doing this longer than me, they would congratulate me on that. Hold on, there's people right here. People walking past, talking, don't want no one's audio on this film if I can help it. How you say help it from being on camera? Anyone's voice besides mine. Let me remind everybody too, there's nobody that is my boss around this motherfucking neighborhood. There's nobody around this motherfucking goddamn block that is my boss. So anyone that wants problems, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. We get problems. At the end of the day, I already know what people, how they treated me around this motherfucking city before people moved to this motherfucking block. So when people want to run their fucking mouths and then have a gang of fucking idiots that back them all up, guess what? I don't give a fuck. Then you got the people that fucked and made some fucking kids, and now they think they're high and mighty. You're nothing but a bunch of people that had sex. So, you want to disrespect me? I'm talking shit right now. If anyone's watching this channel, they know who I'm talking about if they're watching it. Especially if they're one of the people that doesn't like me. And I know that there's plenty of them that watch this channel that don't like me. From sanding that kind of got melded onto there. Almost got it all off of there. But anyway, this is a serious matter when they're spies. They get to walk around and fucking make up lies because they're crooked government officials pretending to be thugs. Or like thugs that were rats now that are acting like a thug still. And at the end of the day, I honestly don't give a fuck who anyone thinks they are, especially an arrogant bitch. Or like, for instance, some bitch that thinks it's a fucking game where she's got a tough husband, so she thinks she gets to talk shit to me, huh? Not that it actually happened, but in a roundabout way, I have no idea who any of these sluts are that do run their mouth to me when I'm out in public. And at the end of the day, I'm just, how you say, creating a topic of discussion. And at the end of the day now, knowing what had happened to me, and I honestly don't give a fuck about staying on topic now. So, knowing what had happened to me, I will run my mouth. Knowing what had been, how you say, how I've been treated, I will run my mouth. Knowing that what I know I get away with in the sense of defending myself, I will run my mouth. You people want to play a goddamn game, fucking try to hit me in a motherfucking car, you think I'm not gonna flick you off when I'm in the fucking streets? Then you want to play a game and act tough. And then the next minute you want to see if I remember that you did that shit, right? And then you want to try to act nice to me. So I fucking stared you down. Wondering why the fuck you're trying to act nice towards me when I know you're already disrespecting me with your gang of idiots that I know where I live. That I know disrespect me when I'm out in public. So fuck you and your goddamn gang of people that back you up and anyone else that is, how you say, beyond that. Alright, that's what time it is now. Got the mini blip on. A little blippy. The last blimpy sub shop in Minnesota is in Gaylord, Minnesota. Gaylord. I haven't driven through that city for a while. Don't quote me on that. I haven't been there in like 8 months, 8, 7, 8, 9 months. So, may or may not be there still. Meaning, I know some people never even heard of the sub shop called Blimpie. A lot of them used to be connected to a Baskin Robbins. If you ever heard of that restaurant, that's an ice cream parlor. Some of them serve like nachos or hot dogs too, I think, and pretzels. Anyway though, now this is the first damp wipe. The cloth is slightly wet. You don't want it to be actually wet. You want to just see what it looks like. There's slight hairline fractures right there, as you can see. But once I spray primer over that, then, you know, once I get that done, it'll look a lot better, and it'll take a good look. I did go to school for this stuff. Now, if you're wondering again, it's in the videos. You have to scroll back to October 2025. When I was at the courthouse at Hennepin County, I was parked like a block away. Whoever tried to break the window with a hammer or some type of metal object and hit right here, instead of hitting right here, they were trying to hit like right here to shatter it right there in this spot on any vehicle, right about this far away from the edge, shatter the window. And they missed, and it hit right there, and you see it drag the object all the way right here, about right here. You can see it kind of. And anyway, though, now get the tack cloth going here. You only need a little bit. Now this tack cloth, even though it's not in the package, it was, how you say, tightly sealed against the plastic of the package, so it's still technically like spongy. If you ever feel one of these things, it feels like you just had a little bit of glue stuck on your hand, but it's like super glue, and it's like sticky, but it's not sticky at the same time, if that makes any sense. So right now, what I'm doing, I'm cleaning up all the little particles that you can't see really, and then do that for a while, just back and forth, basically get that nice, and attempt to kind of be, was it some type of better than it was cleanliness, in a sense of picking up dust particles. And anyway, now, when back to what I was saying though, I have no idea who anybody is. I don't know who's anybody, if they're with me or against me. I'm not a block theory. I don't believe in that shit, being that I witnessed on this, if I look outside this house on the front door window, I witnessed 11 sets of people. So at the end of the day, when I know what I know about fuck shit going on and people trying to walk past and see what I'm doing outside, a lot of them think that like I smoke weed outside or do something illegal out in public or some shit like that. I think, can't prove it, that's just a hunch in my own opinion. So but anyway though, this is about as clean as it will get for paint. So now all I'm going to do now, I'm going to tape it off camera. Here we go. Watch this is always fun. Well, good fun. Now this part, don't really need to paint on the metal. Try not to anyway, is my opinion. Just paint the primer onto the sanded area where the Bondo is and the bare metal. Here we go. Hold on. Little spray test here. There we go. Not exactly how I wanted it, but that's the way it came out. I'm not going to even mess with it. Maybe a little bit. Just watch. Laid it on a little thick. But that's a little better than it was. One more little bit. Now, believe it or not, that's pretty good. Now I let that dry all the way and then sand it. Alright, I just got done sanding it, cleaning it up again, and then painting it, or excuse me, taping it off. Alright, now got my Roberlo Air Color Felix One Fill Pre-Fill Metal Green, General Motor Company, stock color selection. So anyway, I'm gonna set the phone up here in my shoe. But I do what I do. Here we go. may or may not clear coat it. I'm not for sure how good it's going to shine. Good thing I did that. And somehow got lucky there ain't no dust. Now, believe it or not, best that can be done. So, c'est la vie on that. Got to stop the runnage here. What you see me just do right there? It will do that. That's all paint. Get that before it runs down into the spot where you didn't have to tape off. That's about it. Now, that's that coat. Believe it or not, may need to be sanded off. Probably will. Take a look at the original color. This is the part where it just painted. It's exact color match, but you can see there's airs slightly. Alright. Put this here for a second. A little bit of spit shine. Now I got the green middle finger. You hear the green thumb? Now I'm Dr. Green middle finger. That's all the spies out there. Let you know I'm still flicking you motherfuckers off. And my apologies to all the ones that are actually GappaMagix fans. Meaning me. I am GappaMagix. So make sure you give a like and thumbs up. GappaMagix how-to video.